If someone is sitting on my car, can I physically move them? Hypothetically, what happens if someone sits on your car, you ask them to move, they don't, and you proceed to drive your car as if they weren't there? What does the law say about this? Assuming that you have a smartphone, just start taking pictures of the person sitting on your car. Be sure to get a clear picture of their face. Then start your engine and call the police. Make sure that your doors are locked and the windows are closed. Chances are, they will move along in a big hurry. No physical contact at all. Call the police or any authority if they want budge. You could potentially get in trouble if things get physical. It's best to just call the cops on them. I wouldn't recommend it. Touching someone without their consent is battery. Maybe, you'll be able to convince a court drive cops that your actions were justified in the defense of your property. But that means possibly going through all the headaches in court and issues in the worst case scenario. Much better to let the other person damage the car and then get them in trouble for property damage. Way less risk. No, call the cops instead. Most likely, just pulling out your phone and threatening to call the cops on them will make the asshole get out of the way. You have to yell, "Hey fuckstick, get off the fucking car," and then do the man dance. She is committing assault. She has zero right to touch your car or you. I had a recent encounter in a parking lot where a lady was trying to save a spot. A car pulled out, I pulled in. She attacked my car, banging on my windows and car door with her keys. There were many people around. I got out and asked her, "WHSD, the fuck is she doing?" I told her she had no right to touch my car or me. She was on my face. And others were surrounding me, her whole family. I shouted to all them that anyone touched me or my car, I defend myself with my life. Touch me and I'll start taking people out. She said she'd call the cops. I said fuck off Dobbit. You assaulted me. I found later she also keyed the side of my car. I just left into the store. When I came out, she and her family were gone, but cops were waiting for me. They said I was making terrorist threats, saying I was going to kill everyone. I explained I was the victim and showed where she keyed my car, that I was defending myself. I pressed charges on her and took her to small claims court on vandalism and assault. The criminal assault charges were never pursued. Got my doors painted, she paid. Fuck her and her entitled family. So she has no right to jump on the car, THSDID vandalism and assault. Worried about them damaging your car? Just wait until you've gotten physical with them and took the spot they felt entitled to. When dealing with stupid or crazy, the best thing you can do is move on. You'll waste more time and be more stressed dealing with them than you would finding a new spot. Depends what state you're in. In some, your car is an extension of your home. Physically? Yes, of course. Use the pedals. Legally? That's a big-time gamble with life-altering consequences if it doesn't go your way. Anything you do could result in an encounter with law enforcement, physical injury to yourself, or both. Even if you're legally justified, that's going to be cold comfort if you spend weeks or months dealing with the fallout of some idiot picking fights in a parking lot. Idiots don't have enough impulse control to care about jail or physical injury, and they are not likely to pay their medical bills anyway. Get in, start up, and go fast. Don't need to say anything. You're generally allowed to use reasonable force to prevent or mitigate the consequences of a crime committed by another. So if someone is impeding your lawful ability to move, you can generally use the minimum necessary force to prevent them from blocking you. Learn to make better decisions. They are obviously selfish fucking idiots, but what's engaging them going to accomplish? Okay, you get the parking spot then, but they wait till you're gone and vandalize your car. Just drive off and wait for another spot. Sit on my car? I'm throwing it in reverse and flooring it. Watch them tumble to the ground as the car disappears from under them. It's probably a bad idea. You could get into trouble for it, so it should be a last resort. In some places yes, and others no. If you in a stand your ground state, it's yes. If they are preventing you from using your vehicle, you might in about 12 of states. No matter what it is, legally trespassing onto your property. And yes, it's possible to press charges of trespassing in all states about a vehicle. Now will the police accept your complaint is another story. You can, though, if the lack of your vehicle costs you money, sue them for damages and the civil trespass. Though police are unlikely to do much about it, it is trespass onto your vehicle, and if they so much as scratch the paint, it's also vandalism. But you can get a civil judgment with evidence easily. The criminal is much less likely, as police don't want the hassle if they even show up in time to catch the person. Gonna agree with the people saying it wouldn't be worth it even if technically legal, because if you're worried about damage to your car, what do you think such a person is going to do to your car once you've put your hands on them? B, it's just not worth the potential legal hassle. Be it spending hours at a police station or ending up in court, just call the police and sit tight, record everything they do, and say on your phone. Depends on what state you live in. Lay on your horn. Turn off the car. Tell them you have run out of gas. Ask them to help you push the car into the parking spot. I would just slowly drive and creep until you take the spot over, then call the police. I don't understand why people just stop. The offender will move if they are fearful enough. What about if they are sat on the front of your car and you reverse sharply, so they just slide off? They could get hurt, but you didn't run them over or hit them. I read this as shitting and was very concerned.